silent, child. We begin a great journey together. Be still, pretty venture. You're home. This is the last place you'll ever see. Yes. Together, we're gonna get through this. It begins with the flesh, but it doesn't end there. We are going to dig deeper. You will be a revelation. You are a gift of the sword. You are a bright light in an endless darkness. I sanctify you, child. You are beautiful inside, Venturer. A wondrous gift given by Cain to enlighten the world. Your suffering, your sacrifice here, it is a wonder. Possibilities are endless, Venturer. Don't resist me. Don't resist this.
Ductus Goren? Is this a bad time?
Yes!
Forgive me, you did agree to speak with me at this hour.
What if I kill you instead?
That would
Nadia?
That would be understandable. However, I do have that oath from Archbishop Cruz.
Fine.
What is your name?
My name is Goren. I, like you, am a member of Clan Nosferatu. This is how you came to my acquaintance and sought me out. I despise you, but an oath is an oath, and so I am here.
Why have you come to this domain?
What an interesting question. Perhaps you have not felt the sweet touch of the crusade yet, but with time, I may be able to introduce that scourge to your back. I am here to cleanse this domain and join the Caretaker's crusade and end this land of slaves and their perversions.
Who is the Caretaker?
The Caretaker is an avatar of a new age. The Caretaker is the mouth of Falstaff, the meaning of the Black Hand. The Caretaker is a prophet and a guide to New Canaan, to a new world, a promised land, to salvation.
How long have you known this Caretaker?
I don't know the Caretaker personally at all. How long have I known of the Caretaker? Is that what you want to know? Well, she has been a hero of the Sabbat for 40 years. Before that, perhaps her star had not risen. Perhaps she had not joined the Sabbat. The world is complex, Nadia. There is a history to it, layered by suffering and trial and blood and bone. Some people emerge from this strata strong and as leaders. Some people are buried beneath it.
What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom is the ability to decide the world in which one lives. Freedom is the ability to act in accordance with the internal truths of a Canaanite. For some, that means an obsession with death. For others, an obsession with blood. For others still, an obsession with change. Among the Tzimitzi of the Sabbat, change is everything. Transformation. Evolution is lost to us, my friend, for we are beyond the realities of Darwin. We must evolve ourselves. We must choose evolution. For the Tzimitzi, as an example, this metamorphosis, like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, is at the heart of their internal truth. Being able to follow that is freedom. The Camarilla forbids this. If you were to follow some sort of philosophical tradition separate from what they allow, you would be considered a heretic within the Camarilla. There is no truth to that other than the wills of the ancients.
What are your truths?
My truth is that knowledge is power, and power is the ability to inflict profound violence upon those who do not adhere to the realities of Cain.
What in your own life matters most to you?
What in my own life matters most to me? I suppose it is my piety, my connection to the Dark Father. In our most lonely moments as Canaanites, often we reach out to each other. But if you have faith, you can stand loneliness because you're never really alone. The Dark Father walks beside you. And as the blood spatter covers your flesh, it is a reminder of his love.
Many say the Sabbat is brutal.
The Sabbat is, without a doubt, as brutal as can possibly be imagined by a healthy imagination. We are a cleansing fire that will ride across the land until all impurities and weakness have been removed from it.
Do you have any favorites within the court of Las Vegas?
You mean people I admire? When you say favorites? I do. And I am watching them. It is hard to stay away, but for operational reasons necessary. But there is someone so very special.
Tell me about them.
Oh, I don't like to watch and tell. I think that to have that special connection requires some discretion. Because I don't need you watching them while I am.
When did you join the Sabbat?
I joined the Sabbat about 1 month after the Camarilla killed my sire. That must have been 1953. December of 1953.
Is that why you joined? Because of the death of your sire?
No. Well, yes. But no. But yes. It's a complex thing. You see, my sire was in some ways my owner. I was a slave, like you were a slave, to elders. I did not join as a form of vengeance. In fact, it was a joy to be free. Once I had my freedom, I acted as free Canaanite would and joined a cause that reflected freedom.
And what have you done with your freedom?
Oh, the wonders, I can tell you. Underneath the light of the moon, not 3 weeks ago, I was able to skin a ventru. Difficult process, but it requires a dedication. Removing the flesh of the ventru, I then engaged in a ritual cleansing with his blood and viscera. And then I drank his lifeblood as a sacrament for the Dark Father. What a revelation. When you drink the lifeblood of a Canaanite, Nadia, you gain power, yes, but you gain shards of who they are. Memories, visions, ideas. In some ways, it's like living another life, another gift from Cain. Piety is one of the things I'm able to learn as a free Canaanite. Something greater than the masters you serve.
The Camarilla are not the only faction within Las Vegas. There are also many Anarchs, a few of the Independent Alliance. What are your thoughts on them?
The Anarch movement has to be one of the most profoundly foolish endeavors ever to be adopted by sentient beings. Now, let me unpack that. You have a sect of slaves in the Camarilla. You have some wise members of the Anarch movement in the earliest formation of it, which rebel against these slaves. Because these childer, neonates and Encia, as you design your strata, your hierarchy, granted the gift of immortality and power, voluntarily serving as janissaries and thralls of ancient corpses in the form of their elders. It's madness. It's madness. And those Anarchs had the wisdom to rise. And in time, those Anarchs became the Sabbat. But those that call themselves Anarchs now voluntarily take on the yoke of the Camarilla and serve the Ivory Tower. Even today, fighting the Sabbat, their actual ideological brothers and historical allies. They war against us as pawns of this vile Camarilla. And when you talk about the Independent Alliance, don't make me fucking laugh. There has never been a more obvious cohort of slaves and servants for the old ones than the Independent Alliance. Their ancients are revered as gods in both of their founding clans. I won't even discuss the traitors who they have recently adopted as members. But when we speak of the Giovanni and the followers of Set, we are speaking of the rotted remnant of dead religions.
You have strong opinions.
I'm a strong Cainite.
What would you hope to see happen in this domain?
You asked me about my dreams for this place.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine walking into the streets of Las Vegas and being greeted with snowfall. And realizing it is ash as I sweep it from my shoulders. I would like to see this place become the greatest graveyard this world has ever seen, forming a storm of fire and ash and bone that would create a sort of environment. And in the ashes and ruins of this city, I would love to see a temple erected for the worship of the Dark Father. Cainites from around the world could come and see the miracle that had been achieved in this place, in a temple, a cathedral of light in the darkness. And together we would take hands and pray. We would bathe in the blood. And we would create a new Eden upon the bones of this rotted corpse.
And what would this new Eden look like?
Oh, there would be so much joy. We would be in a world beyond violence then. The need for such suffering would become articles of faith rather than necessity. We would be joined as one voice singing in a chorus to heaven. Create a new civilization, a new Enoch, with towers rising to the heavens, masteries of architecture, palaces of pain for the ritualized suffering of both Cainite and Kain. There will always be heretics, there will always be dissenters. But in this world of purity, those become the fuel by which offerings are given to the Dark Father. And we would live in eternity together in a world without sin.